Friends, today we have a storm of headlines that stretch from Munich all the way to Washington. But let's start in the United States, because once again, Donald Trump has put himself at the center of a global stage. Just 10 days before the Nobel Peace Prize announcement, Trump declared that he deserves it more than anyone else. And not just for himself, but, as he put it, for the United States. Standing before senior military leaders at a base in Virginia, he made it clear that any other decision would be an insult to America. He claims that since January, when he returned to office, he's ended 7 separate wars, including disputes between India and Pakistan, Egypt and Ethiopia, and Serbia and Kosovo. Add to that his so-called success in halting the bloodshed in Gaza, where Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and even officials in Pakistan have backed his nomination. The question is, will the Nobel Committee really take such a controversial step? Or is this yet another example of Trump grabbing headlines to keep the narrative centered on himself? If you're new here, I'm Andrew Meet Rich. I used to work inside a state-run media outlet, saw how stories were twisted to fit the narrative, and I walked away. Now I'm independent, I speak freely, and I tell you what really matters. So, hit like, subscribe, and if you value this kind of straight talk, consider becoming a sponsor. It keeps us going and independent. Let's jump to Germany, because Munich woke up today under shock. Early in the morning, explosions and fire tore through a house, leading authorities to shut down Oktoberfest, the world's biggest folk festival. According to Bild, investigators believe a man planted explosives in his parents' home, set it ablaze, and then ended his own life. The tragic incident forced police to suspend the festival out of fear of further threats. And here's where things get even darker. Investigators are now probing links to left-wing extremist groups. One far-left site published a chilling text titled "Antifa Means Attack," hinting at violent acts in Munich. Police are treating every scenario seriously, and as if that wasn't enough, yet another office of the Alternative for Germany party was targeted. An unknown assailant hurled a burning object into a local office in Perlach. Luckily, no major fire broke out, but damage runs into the thousands. This is part of a pattern. Party offices vandalized, attacked with paint, even stoned. German politics is visibly under strain, and tensions are spilling into the streets. By the way, drop a comment. Do you think Europe is slipping into a dangerous spiral of polarization? The shocks in Germany don't stop there. Political leaders are now battling over the return of military service. Starting in 2026, the government plans a voluntary model. Young men born after 2008 would fill out forms, undergo medical checks in 2027, and only if too few volunteer would conscription return. But critics inside Germany say that's too little, too late. Foreign Minister Johann Weideful bluntly stated, "We need a draft now, not later." His party insists the threats facing Europe require immediate mandatory service. At the same time, German households continue to struggle with energy bills. Yes, prices dipped slightly this year, but they remain far higher than before 2022. A family of 4 has paid an extra €6,000 for gas and electricity in just 4 years. Add new taxes, 6% more on gas, 7% on electricity, and the pressure is crushing. Government promises to reduce network tariffs barely touch regular citizens. Analysts warn the relief mostly benefits corporations, leaving families to carry the weight. And that's not all. Local budgets are collapsing. The deficit of German municipalities hit nearly €20 billion in just 6 months, triple the level of 2023. Social programs, kindergartens, staff costs, everything is draining resources faster than revenues grow. When budgets crumble, someone has to pay. Experts already warn that cities will be forced to raise local fees, garbage collection, swimming pools, basic services, just to keep the lights on. And in the middle of this, a heated argument is erupting over aid to Ukrainian refugees. Germany has taken in roughly 1.3 million Ukrainians. For now, arrivals after March 31st still qualify for German-level welfare. But Saxony's Interior Minister, Armin Schuster, says enough is enough. He demands that new arrivals receive the same, smaller payments as asylum seekers, not full civil welfare. He points to Poland as the model, where Ukrainians only get benefits if they work and pay taxes. The tension is real. On one hand, Ukraine desperately needs support as it fights Putin's war of aggression. On the other, German taxpayers are showing growing frustration. This conflict between solidarity and strain is tearing at Europe's fabric. and Poland is playing its own game. Officials announced that border checks with Germany and Lithuania will remain in place until April 2026. Remember, these were supposed to be temporary controls, introduced back in July to contain migration routes through the Baltics. But as the old saying goes, nothing is more permanent than the temporary. Every 6 months, the extension is justified with the same explanation: migration management. The truth is, Poland wants a tighter grip on who crosses its borders, and it won't hesitate to push that policy deeper into the future. Meanwhile, in Poland itself, Prime Minister Donald Tusk is under pressure. A new poll shows that over 53% of citizens rate his government negatively. 42% say outright bad, another 11% lean that way. This is a wake-up call for Warsaw, where public patience is clearly running thin. So, to recap, Trump demands the Nobel Peace Prize, claiming to have ended wars. Munich reels from explosions, Oktoberfest is disrupted, and German politics gets darker with vandalized party offices and calls for immediate conscription. Households groan under energy costs, cities sink into deficit, and the refugee debate grows sharper. Poland extends border controls, and Tusk faces growing discontent. This is the world we live in, fragile, tense, and full of unfinished business. And that's why I'm here. I've been doing this for years, not because it's easy, but because someone has to. I chose truth over obedience, and I'll keep digging into the facts others avoid. If you value clarity over noise, stick around. We've got more to talk about. Subscribe, hit like, and consider becoming a sponsor if you want this channel to keep growing.